In the previous video, we have discussed about the anatomy of the rachis. The rachis is nothing but the axis of the leaf. And I told you, on this rachis, on both the sides of the rachis, the leaflets will arise. So in this session, we will discuss about the anatomy of the leaflets. If you look at the structure of leaflets, the leaflets, they are said to be dorsiventral. So dorsiventral means you can easily differentiate between the dorsal surface and the ventral surface of the leaf. So the leaf is said to be dorsiventral. And one of the important feature in case of cycas leaflet is that the leaflet shows adaptation to some of the xerophytic conditions. While explaining the anatomy of this leaflet, I will tell you about the xerophytic adaptations. So now let us study the anatomy of leaflet. If you take a cross section of leaflet, the cross section of leaflet, it exactly look like this. The central bulged region, it is nothing but the midvein region, and these two wing like structures are present. They are nothing but the leaf lamina. If you take the cross section, it exactly look like this. So if you look at the section of the leaflet, it is mainly differentiated into the outermost epidermis, followed by the mesophyll and the central vascular bundles. The outermost layer of the leaflet, it is made up of epidermis. So the epidermis is the outermost layer. So it is differentiated into upper epidermis and lower epidermis. Epidermis is differentiated into upper epidermis and lower epidermis. So this epidermis is made up of a single layer of compactly arranged cells. Both on the upper and the lower epidermis, they are made up of compactly arranged single layer of cells. And on both the sides of the epidermis, they are surrounded by, or they are covered with the help of a thick cuticle. Both upper epidermis and lower epidermis, they are covered with the help of a thick cuticle. So the presence of thick cuticle is one of the characteristic feature in case of xerophytic plants. So when the thick cuticle is present, it mainly helps in avoiding the water loss. If cuticle is absent, so the water present in all these tissues, it will come out. The water will come out through the process of transpiration. So if this thick cuticle is present, it prevents the loss of water. Since xerophytic plants, they mainly grow in areas where the water scarcity is there. So in order to prevent the water loss, they have adapted themselves. This thick cuticle is one of the adaptation to xerophytic conditions. Both the upper epidermis and lower epidermis, they are covered with the help of thick cuticle. And if you look at the lower epidermis, in the lower epidermis, the epidermal cells, they are interrupted. Why they are interrupted means, in some of the regions of the epidermis, you will find the presence of sunken stomata. Only in the lower epidermis, you will find the sunken stomata. The sunken stomata are nothing but the reduced stomata, and they are present only in the lower epidermis. They are not present on the upper epidermis. And the presence of sunken stomata is also one of the xerophytic adaptation. This sunken stomata, it is mainly consists of a stoma. This opening is nothing but the stoma, and it is having two gall cells, and these two are the subsidiary cells. So this is about the sunken stomata. Next, after the upper epidermis, you will find 2 to 3 layered compactly arranged cells. They are nothing but the hypodermal cells. They are mainly made up of sclerenchyma tissue, and usually they are 2 to 3 layered. So 2 to 3 layered compactly arranged sclerenchyma cells are represented by hypodermis. So the hypodermis is represented by 2 to 3 layered compactly arranged sclerenchyma cells. In the lower epidermis, after the lower epidermis, hypodermis is only present in the mid-vein region, but in the upper epidermis, after the upper epidermis, the hypodermis is present all along the length of the leaflet. But after the lower epidermis, the hypodermis is present only in the region of mid-vein. The mid-vein region ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾತ್ರ hypodermis ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಅದು ಎಲ್ಲಿ lower epidermis ಆದಮೇಲೆ. ಬಟ್ upper epidermis ಕೆಳಗಡೆ full leaflet length ತನಕ hypodermis ಇರುತ್ತೆ. So after the hypodermis, it is followed by mesophyll tissue. If you look at the mesophyll tissue, again it is differentiated into two types of cells. Mesophyll tissue below the hypodermis, that is below the upper epidermis, you will find the presence of palisade tissue, and below the lower epidermis you will find the presence of spongy tissue. So the mesophyll is differentiated into upper palisade tissue and the lower spongy tissue. So they are also known as palisade parenchyma and spongy parenchyma. So this palisade and spongy parenchyma, they constitute the mesophyll of the cycas leaf. So if you look at the palisade parenchyma, usually the palisade parenchyma, it is consists of a single layer of elongated cells. They are tube-like. It is made up of, palisade parenchyma is made up of a single layer of long elongated tube-like cells. And if you look at the spongy parenchyma, these spongy parenchyma, they are having the oval shape and they are loosely arranged. Usually the spongy parenchyma, they are having the oval shape and they are loosely arranged. But the palisade parenchyma, they are single layered and they are tube-like, elongated tube-like. And on both the palisade and spongy parenchyma, they consist of chloroplast. So these green dots, they are nothing but the chloroplast. On both the palisade and spongy parenchyma, they consist of chloroplast. So this is about the mesophyll. Mesophyll is differentiated into palisade and spongy parenchyma. So at the center, at the central region, that is at the mid-vein region, you will find the presence of a single vascular bundle. So if you look at the structure of a single vascular bundle, again these vascular bundles, they are covered with the help of, or they are surrounded with the help of bundle sheath cells. Vascular bundles, they are covered with the help of bundle sheath cells. Inside these bundle sheath cells, you will find the presence of xylem and phloem. So if you look at the arrangement of xylem and phloem, again the xylem is said to be diploxylic. As I have explained in case of rachis, the xylem is said to be diploxylic, which means to say the xylem consists of centripetal and the centrifugal xylems. Two types of xylem, centripetal and centrifugal xylem, are present in the vascular bundle. So the xylem is said to be diploxylic. And below the xylem, you will find the presence of phloem. Here the cambium is absent. In case of leaflet, the cambium is absent. Only the vascular bundles are represented by xylem and phloem. So the vascular bundles in case of leaflet, they are said to be conjoined, collateral and closed. If cambium is absent, the vascular bundles are said to be closed, but they are defined as conjoined and collateral. Both xylem and phloem, they are present on the same radii and they are present side by side, but the cambium is absent. So the vascular bundles are said to be conjoined, collateral and closed. So this is about the structure of a single vascular bundle which is present at the center of the leaflet. And another important thing or the important character in case of leaflet is the presence of transfusion tissue. Transfusion tissue is present both in the midvein region and in the lateral region. So while explaining the external morphology of the leaf, I told you the leaf is consists of only a single central middle vein. Lateral veins are absent. For example, if you take the examples of angiosperms or the higher plants, a central vein is present, main vein is present, along with that lateral veins are also present. But in case of cycas leaflet, only central middle vein is present. The lateral veins are absent. So the function of lateral conduction, it is done by a special type of flat elongated cells. Those cells are known as transfusion tissues. A special type of long elongated flat cells, they are known as transfusion tissue. So these transfusion tissues, they help in lateral conduction of water and nutrients. So this is about the anatomy of cycas leaflet. The anatomy of cycas leaflet, it mainly consists of outer epidermis and the upper epidermis and the lower epidermis. They both are covered by a layer thick cuticle. After the upper epidermis, you will find 2 to 3 layer hypodermis. But after the lower epidermis, the hypodermis is present only in the midvein region. And at the center, you will find the presence of conjoined collateral and closed vascular bundles. Again, the xylem is said to be diploxylic because of the presence of centrifugal and centripetal xylem. Next, on the lateral sides of the leaflet, you will find the presence of long elongated flat tissues. They are known as transfusion tissues. These transfusion tissues, they are mainly help in lateral conduction of water and nutrients. So this is about the anatomy of rachis and leaflet. In the next class, we will start with the reproduction in case of cycas.